Hello, and welcome to Knitting the Notes with Dr. B. In today's video, I want to assist a loyal viewer in learning how to play his scales more quickly. I hope that everyone else finds this helpful as well. Let's get started. Okay, first I'll show you how I play the C major scale with my right hand, how I finger it, and how I work on increasing the speed, and your options for how to do it with your thumb. Some people advocate passing your thumb behind the fingers immediately after it plays. Other people advocate putting the thumb behind each finger as you go along. So behind finger 2, behind finger 3, and then there it is. And what I like to do, having come out of studying some harpsichord and the fingering that they often use in the harpsichord, which it took advantage of the fact that your wrist can angle your hand without your elbow going up into the chicken wing situation. So I like to just angle my hand at the wrist and maybe pull a little bit with the arm depending on where you're at, and then your thumb is right there, and you don't have to do any of these things that can cause tension to build up here. So of course the fingering for C, also G, D, A, and E is the same. Finger 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then if you went on for more octaves you would go to 1, but at the start of the left hand and at the end of the right hand, your fifth finger can substitute for 1. Now descending, what Peter Takash at Oberlin told me was collapse your thumb joint here and just let your hand pass over it, which I like that. Sorry, I have a flying fifth finger. I've had it all my life. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, collapse, 3, 2, 1. So what then I would recommend to build up speed in each hand alone, first of all, is pick a slow tempo for your quarter notes. And I don't know, you could do anything you like, 60, 50, 40, whatever you need to do. So I'm going to do a slow quarter note for 1 octave up and down, then eighth notes 2 octaves up and down, triplets 3 octaves up and down, and then 16th notes 4 octaves up and down. Oh, I blew it. Okay, I blew it already. That's exciting. And a metronome comes in handy, but I have a very electronic sounding metronome here, so we're just going to do this as best we can without it. Collapse, collapse, collapse. And if you train your thumb knuckle to collapse very quickly, that does enhance your speed. Now triplets. So what I'm doing is just angling my hand a little bit to get the thumb under, and then when I'm coming down, I'm collapsing that knuckle joint, just boom, it collapses and you go right over it without any resistance. What's very helpful is to practice this from the key surface. So you're building in this finger stroke from this metacarpal phalangeal joint. So feel the key beneath your finger as you do all those other things. And having that action of just depressing the key from the metacarpal phalangeal joint is going to really speed things up. If you're trying real hard, if you're doing like that, you can't play fast. I didn't practice that recently, so it was a little messy at the top, but you get the idea. You start slowly and you operate the fingers from this knuckle joint. You can feel the surface of the key beneath your finger when you're playing it slowly enough, and you train yourself to do that with the other things I mentioned, and eventually with a lot of consistent practice, you will be able to play it fast hands together. So then the left hand, again, from the metacarpophalangeal joint or the top knuckle joint, however you want to call it, you're going to align your arm behind finger 5. Excuse me. Then going up with the left hand, you collapse. And coming down is when you just gently angle your hand. I think Catherine Rowland talks about this in her technique book as well. And I think she just I forget what she calls it. She has a name for everything. But it's just shifting a little bit. So then 2 octaves. Collapse. Collapse. Angle. 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 Triplets. That was probably not the best technique I've ever had. And it was because I was slouching. That's the other thing. You don't want to slouch. You want to engage your abs, sit up tall, have your shoulders optimal, and then you have more space for your arms to operate. And I'm not saying that was perfect, but that is, those are steps that you can take if you're concerned about being able to learn to play your scales more quickly. The things you might be doing wrong is you might be raising your fingers too much, and you might be doing something not efficient with your thumb and your angling your hand. Then hands together. It's been a long time since I learned how to play scales hands together. But I remember thinking 5 plus 3. So I'm going to change my finger here, finger 3 in the right hand, but I'm going all the way to 5 notes with my left hand, and then 3, 2, or 3 and 4. It helps to know that 4 and 2 are often together. So there's 2 and 4, 3 and 3, 2 and 1. I think what the rule is, if I'm not mistaken, for a lot of these scales, if finger 4 is playing, finger 2 is in the other hand. It's not always 2 the other way. You can have 2 without 4, but you can't have 4 without 2. So to me, it was like, if you've ever done double Dutch jump rope, to me, that's kind of the same mental gymnastics that you have to do. There's 5 notes and 3 notes, and then there's 4 notes and 3 notes. So it's 5 and 3 and 4 and 3. So right hand's going for 3 notes, and then the left hand goes for 5 notes, and the left hand goes for 3 notes, and the right hand is on 4, and I can't talk. So I sincerely hope that was helpful, and thank you for joining us here, Knitting the Notes with Dr. B.